Okay, so my favorite movie that I have seen this year. I don't know if it's a favorite. I don't have favorites, but this is the one that jumps out at me the most.
What do you mean you don't have favorites?
I really don't have favorites.
Why am I even on this podcast? Merry Christmas to everybody except for Margarita's Mystic's landlord, Justin.
Oh, Martha. Oh, Christmas. Geoff.
And welcome to Bants. Geoff, it's so great to be here on Christmas Day.
Oh, yes. We love Christmas Day.
And we're joined on this joyous occasion by a very special guest, Sarah Pruitt. Sarah, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
Sarah, I need to say right now, at the top, thank you very much for not only spending 3 hours with us last week to record an entire full podcast episode, but now coming back a following week to endure all the chaos again. So thank you very much.
I was trying to figure out how I'm going to talk about all the things that I talk about without continuously saying, as I said before, last week, because I'm always
Just pretend it didn't happen.
But it's hard. That's hard for me because I always want to be like, I'm so sorry I'm repeating myself, but we just got to do it.
You'll be great.
You're going to be great.
Confidence.
We're very excited to have you on again.
I'm excited to be here because it gives me an excuse to drink more mimosas.
Is it snowing in Hawaii?
No, it's not snowing in Hawaii, bitch.
Oh. Wow. What?
Coming out hot.
No kidding. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, so for listeners who don't know, Sarah is a friend of ours from our hometown of Groton, Connecticut. And she lives in Hawaii now, but will be returning in a couple days. So I'm very excited for you to come back to New England. It's going to be fun.
Me too. I'm moving back soon. At some point in 2025, I want to save up for my own house, actually. And I want to get ducks.
Those are some plans.
Priority number 1, priority number 2.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, in that order.
Buy home.
Get ducks.
Okay, so we have a jam-packed episode today. So what do you say we get into some hot topics?
Okay, firstly, did you see the White Lotus Season 3 trailer?
I didn't watch it. You guys didn't tell me to watch it.
We put it in our group chat, which we need to have an episode about group chats, Geoff. I've been saying this for years.
Yeah. We surely do.
It's a fun topic. But yeah, we posted in the group chat. I've watched it.
Yeah. It looks great. I'm very excited for this cast.
I mean, White Lotus is like just the top tier HBO show to begin with.
Right now? Right now.
No.
In current era HBO.
I mean, yeah, but also I think
it stands the
it's
test
good.
of time.
Yeah, like it's just it's genuinely good.
I think I'd call it top 10 HBO.
That's fair.
All time.
Do you think there's
I think so.
Do you think there's going to be a murder in every season? Is that like quintessential?
I think that's like kind of the premise, right?
There's a murder in
a murder or some crime.
Or
maybe like a fake death or something.
I feel like they've all been kind of accidental deaths. It's just like the fuck-ups of humanity and what decisions lead us to chaos.
It's true. I mean, like, we won't get into spoilers, but it's arguable whether or not some of them were accidental or like because of some
nefarious
events
plan
that happened. Yeah, nefarious activities.
But that's what I mean, though. The fuck-ups that lead us into chaos.
Mm.
Right. I mean, I think the theme of the White Lotus in general is that it's like a black comedy toned Succession in some ways. I think it was in a conversation a lot with Succession because the season 1 of the White Lotus and Succession came out around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both they're both comedies, but the White Lotus is like more, I would say, fun, less like cynical and depressing than Succession.
The White Lotus is high comedy.
Right.
The improv last year.
Excellent.
Peppa Pig. That was great.
Jennifer Coolidge, just in general. Jennifer Coolidge.
She had... I remember seeing her post and being like, I really felt like I was kind of done. And her career was on the low point. And then she didn't feel like great about herself in general because she was older and I guess just not happy with herself. And then she got the White Lotus and then everything just like popped off again. And I'm so happy that it did.
Yeah, I mean, also it's been a springboard for a couple of different stars. Like Sydney Sweeney was on there, I think like around the same time. Mm-hmm. Euphoria season 2 was coming out.
Natasha Rothwell.
Yes.
Oh, which one's that?
Well, guess it wasn't big enough springboard for Sarah to have it on her radar. She's coming back for season 3. She was the one in season 1 who wanted to open a business with Tanya.
Oh, yeah, the masseuse.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, no, I did see that.
She'll be in season 3, which I'm excited for.
Is she going to be playing the same character?
She's playing the same character.
Oh,
Yep.
but she moved to a resort in Thailand. It's like a sister resort in Thailand or something. You know, like, we can send you over here.
I think she's like on detail. Yeah, it's like she's there for training purposes or something. Yeah.
Okay.
And the rest of the cast is also wild this season.
Yeah.
So pod fave Carrie Coon is in the season. We love Carrie Coon.
Let's give it up for Miss Carrie Coon.
See,
Sarah does not know who Carrie Coon is.
no, I do know. I know the face. I know the face. I'm not good with names, but I know the face. I'm going to look it up right now, and then I'm going to be like...
Well, Carrie Coon, I think I first discovered her in The Leftovers, which is a criminally underrated HBO show.
Also top 10.
That is, I would say, top 3 HBO shows ever.
Sure.
Like,
Leftovers
maybe
was
my
really
favorite
good.
show ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leftovers was one of those shows that... There's not a lot of shows I feel like that you watch, and then you're left with a feeling afterward of anything. It could be anything. A lot of the times, movies and shows that make me feel like enlightened and like I learned something, and you feel like you have a new lease on life a little bit. But that one just existential dread, but it still left me with the feeling.
I don't know about, I feel like, I think The Leftovers is great because it leaves people with different feelings. And it's one of those shows that manages to like capture the unknowability of life and how like existential can all be, and also capture like the humor, right? I think The White Lotus in its own way is also kind of doing that, which is maybe a little bit of a common thread there. Another person from the cast of season 3, who you will definitely know, Sarah, based on maybe something you're going to talk about later, is Walton Goggins, who was most recently in Fallout.
Yes! As the ghoul. Was he the ghoul?
The ghoul.
Yeah, he was the ghoul.
Who's Walton Goggins? I don't know her.
You don't know Walton Goggins?
If you look up the photo.
He's a star.
Look up the photo.
Oh, yeah! I do know him.
Exactly.
We just looked.
See?
He was in Justified.
You just did the same thing that I did, although I'm going to be honest here, and I looked up Carrie Coon, and I did not recognize her face.
Okay, boo.
There's still opportunities to fix this.
You literally just said you watched a
You just said you loved The Leftovers.
I did watch The Leftovers, but I didn't remember.
Did you watch Fargo? Did either of you watch Fargo?
I did not
I
watch
still
Fargo.
haven't seen that season of Fargo.
You gotta watch
So
it's on my list.
season 2 of Fargo with Carrie Coon. I think it was season 2.
Here's the thing. I think I've mentioned this in the group chat before, but I don't like to watch a lot of like serious dramas. So like if it's got a serious tone, yeah.
Jinx. Pinch poke, owe me a Coke.
If it's got a serious tone, like it won't be my first click. Like I'll go back to watching like Disney movies and rewatching Disney movies before I watch like a dramatically toned, serious film or
I think
TV
it's time
show.
to broaden horizons a little bit. You're missing out on some good stuff there.
I know I am.
We don't need to watch Disney movies over and over.
But I did watch Dee Dee last night.
Well, I can't wait to
Bit
talk
of a
about
spoiler.
that later. Foreshadowing. Well, we'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
But what about Parker Posey, too? I'm excited to see her.
Parker Posey, an icon.
Icon. Clock Watchers.
And
You guys
also-
ever watch it?
Oh, no, I never watched Clock Watchers.
Clock Watchers is great. You should watch it. Lisa Kudrow, Parker Posey. Great cast. I forget who else is in it.
Speaking of Lisa, did
Yes.
you know that Lisa, previous What's Good,
Oh
is
my
in
god,
this
wait,
season
I
of White
did not
Lotus?
know Lisa of Blackpink fame is going to be
What?
in The White Lotus.
She
That's
is?
amazing.
Yeah, she's in season 3, yeah.
I'm so excited for that.
Everyone- oh my
We
God.
love Lisa.
I mean, she's Thai, so it makes sense this season is going to take place in Thailand.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So actually, you won't know.
I love
You
it.
guys don't know Big Bang, but they're another K-pop group, all men. But there's the one of the rappers in Big Bang, Top. But he's going to be on the second season of what was that show? Squid Games.
Oh.
Oh. I feel like, Geoff, you weren't super into Squid Game.
I never watched Squid
I
Game.
loved
I
it.
couldn't get
That
into
twist
it.
at the end, that number one.
It was a pretty good show. I like it. Very anti-capitalist.
I can't get over the creepy girl. La 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 la. And then they all die and get shot. That's weird for me.
It's dark.
It is dark.
We can't wait for White Lotus. And I think it's coming out on the 16th of February.
Ooh.
That's right.
2025.
That's right.
Big
Yeah.
excitement.
Very soon. I think we'll almost certainly have an episode about this, right?
Yeah, 100%.
This is like this is
Got
a
it.
classic Bantz TV show. Yeah.
Classic Vance.
And see, I can watch White Lotus because even though it's got somewhat of a dramatic tone, it's also very funny. And like how they film it is like bright and light because they're always in a vacation spot. So
It belies the subject matter.
yeah, a little bit.
One of the great tensions of the show. Trouble in Paradise, honey.
So, Geoff, I don't know that much about our next hot topic, but I see here in our outline.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Did you all watch The Simple Life back in the day with Nicole, Richie, and Paris Hilton?
I sure did.
I loved that show. That was like one of my first forays into like serial reality TV watching.
We didn't even talk about it on our reality TV episode.
I know we didn't. We could literally have an entire podcast just about reality
That's
TV
true.
because it is such an expansive topic and there's so much good shit out there.
I can spotlight for the Netflix reality television at just that little corner because I love them so much.
You know, that stuff is designed just for you.
Shut up.
You're like their target demographic for it.
I am. I'm everybody's target demographic, okay? I'll watch anything and I'll say, like, that was good. Loved it.
So you're indiscriminate?
It was fine.
I'm not a critic.
That's okay. You know what? I appreciate your capacity for joy and happiness in any situation. How about that?
Not everyone has to be a critic.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
One thing that brought me a great deal of joy was seeing Paris and Nicole return to our TV screens. They have a new show on Peacock. Stream it on Peacock, guys. It's great. Paris and Nicole, The Encore.
Is it really? Is it out already?
It is, and it's mini. It's like, it's not even really a series. It's like a mini series. There's like 4 episodes, I think. 5 episodes, maybe. I watched it all in one evening. It was excellent.
That's easy.
They are so watchable and so funny. Especially Nicole Richie. She is actually so funny. She's got real comedic chops.
Do you think that Paris is more, got more levity to her in her older years and all of her experiences? Or is she still how we remember her to be?
Well, I feel like she's always had levity, but I think she is definitely much more, she's way more of a businesswoman now, I think. I mean, she's still like a DJ. She's still doing the DJ thing, the music thing.
Yeah.
But, she's a serious person. Not that she wasn't before, but I think she enjoyed portraying herself not to be.
she's matured a lot since the show.
That was kind of my question. Like, is she more in touch with reality?
Yes, definitely. They both are. And they're both moms, and they talk about being moms.
Okay, I love that.
It's so basically like the premise of this reality show is that they go back to the town that they started in season 1 and they stage an opera. Or they go back and visit everybody, and then they decide to stage an opera from that little song that they used to do. Do you remember it, Sarah?
No.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Sana-sa, 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 sana-sa.
Wait,
they would
shut up.
sing it all the time.
No.
Yes. Sana-sa, 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 sana-sa. So that's the name of their opera.
Just Sana-sa.
It's just called Sana-sa, and they stage it. It's great. It's so funny.
No, there's a makeup YouTuber. She tells like a true crime story while she's doing her makeup called Bailey Sarian. And her opening is always Sana-sa, shana-sha, shana-sha, sha.
Yeah, she lifted that from Simple Life.
Lifted and didn't. No credit given because I had thought that was a Bailey Sarian.
Well, I feel like we can relate.
She may have.
Yeah, we can relate. I think there's a lot of references that are made very often here on Bants that we don't necessarily credit explicitly in every episode where we make the reference, you know? But
that's fair.
Yeah, it's great. I think everybody should give it a spin. It's low stakes, half-hour long episodes, which are, actually like 22 minutes, and there's only 4 or 5 of them, so it's pretty great. It's very funny. Kathy Hilton, who is like one of my favorite cast members of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, makes a cameo. They go back and visit the people that they used to work for, like on different seasons. They go back to the family that housed them. Kesha makes an appearance because Kesha famously appeared on a season of The Simple Life, and that's how she got her start.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually.
And they go shopping in Walmart. It's so fun. It's really funny.
Oh, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed watching Paris and Nicole in The Simple Life, I certainly recommend taking a look at their new show on Peacock, Paris and Nicole, The Encore.
Okay, well, I need to do my nails, so that'll take about the same amount of time.
That's perfect. It's a second screen show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all right. Sometimes we need those.
We do need those.
I need them almost every day of my life. So.
Okay, this next hot topic, though, I do know about. And I suspect that Geoff and I may disagree about this one.
I don't know if we will, but go ahead.
So let me ask you, Sarah.
Ask the people.
Have you heard about these drone sightings in the Northeast United States over the last few weeks?
I surely have not.
Damn.
What?
Are you even on
No.
TikTok?
No. Famously, no.
You don't use the TikTok?
I have it because I wanted to follow you, Chef Geoff. That's why I got it. But I do not go on TikTok at all.
What?
Well, good for you. You and I are in the same boat, but it has been like covered by mainstream media as well. So, Geoff, why don't you tell your perspective about these drone sightings, and then I'll give mine.
My perspective is I do not think that these are UFOs.
Absolutely not.
Which I know you're surprised by, Justin.
I am,
from
because
the tone of what you're talking-
someone put this verbatim into the outline and said UFOs in New Jersey and New York, and that was not me.
So what?
So I'm saying you wrote UFOs.
They're unidentified flying objects.
Oh, that is a UFO.
But you just said you don't think they're UFOs.
But
they're not
I don't
alien
think they're UFOs,
UFOs.
in the way that people are thinking they're extraterrestrial.
Okay, so you're saying they're not aliens.
No, I just want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. Seeing all these big drones flying around the sky. Did you watch any of the TikToks that I sent to you about them?
Geoff, I'm gonna let you finish and then I'll continue with my thoughts. But
You're
I have
Kanye
seen
Westing me right
I
now.
have
I'm
seen
gonna let
them.
you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay. Well, I think that there is something going on. I think there's some kind of government-funded program or some tech billionaire doing some crazy nonsense. There's something going on. Something is afoot. I want to know what's happening.
You know
Does
what's
it
afoot?
smell
Geoff?
a little
We're being
musky?
lied to. I have a feeling there's something nefarious going on.
Here's what's happening. It's called mass psychosis. Okay.
I don't think.
Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of those videos are of planes,
Yes, a lot of them
like
are
actual
not.
planes. There have
And
been
people
actually
are just insane.
Yeah, and there have been many people, including like former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, who posted a video being like, "Look, there's some drones in my
That was
backyard."
so weird that he posted that. I was like, his brain's bad.
That he posted it, and guess what they were?
They were planes.
No, they were fucking Orion's belt, the stars.
Oh my God! Wait,
What?
that guy.
Shut the fuck up.
He used to be the governor of Maryland.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I'm just saying,
It was part of the Orion Belt constellation.
it was the
Yes.
belt. It was the
they
three
were literally-
stars that were in the
literally
belt.
distant stars, billions of light years
But
away
they
from
don't
us.
fucking move.
So here's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Is that there's a lot of people now that these are getting headlines that are now posted, and they see a light in the sky and they're like, "Fuck, it must be drones."
They just want to like jump on the bandwagon.
And now you got people on Fox News being like, "Is it a coincidence that all the drone sightings are happening next to Chinese farms?"
Oh my God! Come on now.
This is insanity. Like, okay,
that part is insane.
which
But I do want to know what company is responsible for these oversized drones and why they're all of a sudden a great deal of activity.
well, here's the
in
thing:
New Jersey and New York.
is
Just
that
wanna know.
the Department of Defense did an analysis of all the drone sightings.
Sure.
They found, of course, it's a government agency. Maybe you don't believe them. That's on you. They reported that a lot of them were planes, many of them were stars, and that the ones that were drones were mostly commercially available drones. So I really think this is just a situation of like,
Mass hysteria.
yeah, people got into the headlines, and then now everybody is
Yeah.
seeing flying objects, and they're like, "Fuck,
Right.
it must be these giant drones from the Chinese or the aliens or
Right.
whatever."
So, you know the famous photo of the Beatles walking across the road?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crossing Abbey Road.
I had never seen that before in my life. I wasn't a huge Beatles fan. And
What?
then it was pointed
Good for
out to
you.
me it was pointed out to
When?
me at one point in high school, I think. And the first time I saw it, and then I saw it fucking everywhere. And then I saw it everywhere and references of it.
Okay.
And I was like, how did I not see this before in my life? And now I see it everywhere.
So
Okay.
you're thinking now that it's been pointed out to people, they're like just noticing something that's been like widely visible.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a very good point, Sarah. Yeah, I think that is definitely part of what's happening here. And I'm not saying that like drones are not becoming more common, because now more and more people are getting their hands on drones, and people like to mess around with them and fly them places, and a lot of photographers use them for like B-roll and stuff like that. So
B-roll footage.
Really cool. It's really cool B-roll. You can go up like half a mile and around like a mile. Like you can fly it very far away from you.
right,
Yeah.
legally. So I think like that's part of the reason why people are just now becoming aware of the fact that there are so many commercial drones out there being used. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I know like 5 random people on Instagram who I just know from high school and haven't talked to in 10 years who own drones and use them
Yep.
all the time.
It's like an in life video game, a real life video game.
Well, I'm glad that we actually kind of agree on this more than I thought we would,
I
based
still
on the term UFO.
Okay, well, some of the photos, some of the videos that I've seen are actually drones that are much larger than usual. And there is a program right now that is being run by, I'll find it. I'll put the link in the show notes. I can't remember what it's called, but it has some crazy acronym, and it is a partially government funded program that's being run by, like, a test program that's being run by some company that is a little questionable, and it has to do with like using drones as like emergency evacuations or something like that.
Oh yeah,
So
I mean that kind of thing is definitely happening.
that's part of why they're so large. That's all. And, it's a hot topic. It's in the cultural zeitgeist right now. I just wanted to mention it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Well, they're also looking into using drones as emergency delivery, like aid delivery. So, like, bringing, like, really important things, like, as kind of, like, a transporter, like, figuring out what you need and then going back and, like, delivering it very quickly, very easily.
Perhaps they can quickly figure out how to do that to Palestine!
Well, unfortunately, I think the other kind of drone is over in that area of the world, as we all know, circa the Obama administration. That's what I was going to say, is that drone programs funded by the military have been going on for a very long time.
Sure.
So
that part of it is not really new. It's more these commercial drones that are becoming more common. And if there is, I haven't heard about this program, Geoff, but, if there are efforts to, like, design a different, like, passenger drone, then that is, I think, something that's relatively new, because it's a problem that people have been trying to solve. It's essentially the problem of the flying car.
Right.
Why don't we have those?
A passenger drone to pick up one, like, a singular person.
Or like a group of people, sounds like.
Wow, that would be something, huh? So I think what I've been hearing about is more like material-driven drones, like not, they wouldn't be carrying people. It would be more like just emergency response stuff.
Who's to say?
Hey y'all, Future Justin here. Just wanted to add a bit more detail about this. While there are some passenger drone programs across the US, it seems like the larger drone sightings that Geoff has been talking about more closely match the delivery drones that Sarah was discussing for, like, emergency aid and stuff like that. And there have been some recent government grants to fund the development of these drones, so check out the links in the show notes for more details on that. Anyways, let's get back to the show. Who's to say, something to chew on while we take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our favorite films of 2024.
Oh, Christmas.
And we're back.
We are so back. And Geoff, are you ready to talk about our favorite movies of 2024?
I surely am. I can't wait, as a matter of fact.
Who wants to go first?
Ooh, ooh. Oh, I can go first.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so my favorite movie that I have seen this year. I don't know if it's a favorite. I don't have favorites, but this is the one that jumps out at me the most.
What do you mean you don't have favorites?
I really don't have favorites.
Why am I even on this podcast?
Okay. I don't have favorites. I really don't. I like a lot of movies for a lot of different reasons.
But you love this movie.
But I love this movie. It's the only one that I really was like, I was sat up, back straight, like ramrod, like watching for what was going to happen next. Ramrod straight. And it is called Blink Twice. It is Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
And what a smashing job she did. It was so good. It is, what is that called? A crime thriller? No, psychological.
I think it's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's kind of like a psychological thriller. Really along the vein of Get Out.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. A little Get Out vibes. Kind of like Glass Onion, Knives Out vibes too.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was a lot like Glass Onion when I saw the trailer.
Yeah, so, because it's a lot of, like, you don't know what's happening for, like, the first half of the movie. You're a little bit confused because the main character's confused. So you're kind of in there with her, and then you all figure it out together. The main character's name is Frida, and she's a cocktail waitress, and she's working at this event that's thrown by a big tech billionaire named Slater King, who's played by Channing Tatum.
Hot.
He is hot. He's still hot.
Ugly hot.
I don't even think he's ugly hot. He's just hot.
I mean, this is ugly hot and regular hot are subjective, of course. But I think he's like a canonical example of ugly hot.
Yeah. Okay, Frida, named main character, Naomi Ackie. So she's at this cocktail party for Slater King. She sneaks into the after party with her other friend, that is also a cocktail waitress, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
They all kind of end up at the same place on his private island with him, a bunch of his friends, and a bunch of other girls.
I don't like the sound of it.
Hijinks ensue.
Hijinks.
Well, okay.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. So, like, Get Out, I think, is a lot about the experience of being black in America, right? Like, it's about feeling like you're being preyed upon by, like, this white-centric community, right?
This one, I think, more is geared toward being women and being preyed upon as women.
Okay.
So the movie actually was supposed to be called Pussy Island. That was the first name
What
for
a
it.
concept. I love that. Pussy Island. That sounds like a fake 30 Rock show.
Yeah.
It does.
Frida goes to the island kind of thinking that all the girls know the guys. There's this one couple that you think is a couple, and then you kind of find out that none of the women knew any of the men, but all the men are friends.
Hate that energy.
The most, like, exclamation point, get out now sign in the beginning of the movie, they get to the island, they all have to give their phones up.
Nope.
They all put their phones in a little bag, and it's locked away by the little Slater King's little assistant.
Cult shit.
Which is, she was the mom from Stuart Little. I forgot her name.
The mom from Stuart Little?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Gina Davis?
Sure was.
Gina Davis is in that movie?
Gina Davis is in this movie.
And plays his assistant?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Wow. I mean, it's Zoe Kravitz's debut, so I can... she got a lot of star power for it. Alia Shawkat, is that how you pronounce her last name? Alia Shawkat is in it?
That's Jess, her friend, yeah.
And she's been good in everything. Like Arrested Development, obviously, she was really great in. And then deeply underrated show Search Party. She was also really good in.
Search Party was so great.
So underrated, too.
She's also great in this movie.
And great as a cameo appearance in Broad City.
Yeah, she was in Broad City.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Highly suggest this movie. It's very good. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of things that you don't understand and then gets revealed to you. So there's a lot of like, aha moments, which are really cool and fun.
Oh, I love an aha moment.
So many of them. And then you figure out some things before other people do, which is also fun. The ending is very satisfying.
Okay.
The ending's like, fuck yeah.
Pussycat, purr.
Brr.
I wanted to watch this movie when it came out, and it makes sense that it's kind of about what you've been talking about, given that Zoe Kravitz is a Hollywood insider and has been for like her entire life, you know, being like a classic Nepo baby type.
Yep.
So yeah, that sounds really interesting. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to.
Yeah. One of the things that Gina Davis says in the movie is, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love Gina Davis.
She was good in it, too.
She's a tall and elegant woman.
She had a couple of scenes, but they were great.
Big teeth. Vibrant red hair. I'm kind of obsessed.
Kind of obsessed? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with Gina Davis. She's great. She's got star power.
We're going to watch this after our pod recording here?
I mean, I think I might.
You should.
I was kind of interested in this concept. I saw a trailer for it like months ago, but then I didn't hear very much afterwards, so I just assumed it was bad.
Yeah.
But
So they actually, Zoe and I watched it and I saw it was starring Channing Tatum.
Zoe and I? Are you friends? Personal,
No.
like first name basis?
Shut the fuck up. So I saw...
This is my show. Why don't you shut up? This is my show. Wow. The disrespect on the pod.
I'm just a baby.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish your little story, girl.
So I saw that it was starring Channing Tatum and that Zoe directed it, and I was like, oh, that's how they got together. I was confused, because sometimes you're confused about how couples get together in Hollywood, and that was very confusing for me. And then I saw that, and that's how they got together. But so I saw also that on the press tour for this movie was when they figured out, oh, we are not compatible and we're going to break up.
I was just going to ask if they're still dating.
So no. So the movie is the birth and downfall of their relationship.
Sounds like a classic PR relationship, if you ask me.
You right. You right.
How about that?
Oh!
What about that?
Hot take? Not a hot take. That makes sense.
So Sarah, can you just remind us the name of the movie and if we can stream it anywhere?
Blink Twice. And if you have MGM, which I don't know a lot of people have, it's free.
MGM Plus, a real streaming
Plus.
service.
It's a fully real streaming service. I promise it exists.
Is that how you watched it?
So it's on Amazon Prime. You can buy or rent the movie, which I rented it because there's also, this add-on MGM Plus for like $7 a month or something, or get a free streaming trial for like a week. But I never remember to cancel those.
Yeah,
So I just
You really are a
Human
mark for
does.
everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So I just rented it for $4 and watched it.
Oh, you even saved yourself a little money. Look at that.
Very good, very good.
How resourceful.
All right, Sarah, why don't you pick who shares their favorite movie of 2024 next?
Geoff.
It's me! Wicked was my favorite movie of 2024. I gotta say it. But we already did a whole episode on that. So I thought, what else is still lingering around up here in the old fortress of my brain? My mind palace, if you will.
I will.
Okay. I like that. I think I'm going to go with Mind Palace from now on.
Okay.
I love a mind palace.
I said to myself, what's still lingering about in my Mind Palace? And I thought of a really excellent movie that I watched, just about a month ago. I believe I watched it on Peacock, but that could be a lie. I can't remember now where it was.
It was Peacock.
It was Peacock. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm very smart and remember things. But there's a movie that came out this year, and it was called Didi. D-I-D-I. And it was directed by Sean Wang. It's his directorial debut. 2 of those so far in the pod. And he also served as a screenwriter and producer of this film. And it's basically a film that centers around a first-generation Taiwanese-American family and their adolescent son, who is played by Isaac Wang, a young up-and-comer, huge talent.
Yeah, great performance.
Such a talent. This is like his first thing he's done. And
That's
I say
crazy.
to you, kudos, sir, to both he and the director, Sean Wang. They did an amazing job. And also his mother was played by actress Joan Chen, who is also incredible and gave a great performance. But the movie takes place during the summer of 2008 when the main character, whose name I'm totally forgetting because I keep thinking of the actor's name, which is Isaac.
Chris Wang.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Chris Wang. Chris is in between his last year of middle school and his freshman year. Fresh person year. What do they call it now? They call it first year.
What?
They don't do the freshman thing
Feels
anymore.
easy. Yeah.
We
Why?
don't need to gender the first year, apparently.
But
You know?
sophomore, junior, senior.
Yeah.
Those aren't gendered.
They're
yeah.
not gendered.
Freshman's
so-
the only one that's gendered. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Damn.
We're not doing that anymore.
Okay, so are we not going to say human anymore? Humankind?
Oh,
Because
boy.
it's gendering humans?
Oh, boy. Yeah, Sarah, do you have a red cap sitting on a shelf back there? What's going on?
No, but I feel like human and freshmen are like, it's like the same kind of idea of a group of people. We're humans, we're freshmen.
I think it's about the men part of it all.
I think that especially when it comes to like academic contexts, there was a long period of time when men were the only ones, or boys in the case of freshmen, who were like able to access that part of society. You know, so I get it.
You're talking about the spelling of human.
Yeah.
That's what
Is
you're
the
saying, Sarah?
spelling of freshman not M-A-N? It's M-E-N?
Well,
freshman?
plural M-E-N, but freshman year is M-A-N.
That's what...
Like if you're talking
so
about...
it does go to the E-N when it's singular.
Right.
Or a plural when it's plural. Okay.
Plural, yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
Plural.
I guess I didn't know there was a grammatical difference between them.
Well, anytime that I can fit in a grammar lesson during the podcast, I'm happy to do so.
We know.
Okay, I
We
see the
are aware.
point.
JK lol.
I see the point.
Anyways, it takes place during the summer of 2008, just before his first year of high school. And it's basically a coming of age story, but I think it's probably the best version of a coming of age story. I think they usually are a little bit twee and idyllic, and this is, I think, like a very realistic, not picturing, representation, thank you, of what it was like to live during that time.
Everyone's awkward.
MySpace. What about MySpace? Let's bring back the top 8. Let's bring
top
back the top 8.
Did you see? I saw him say, he was like, should I change my top 8? And then he checked his best friend's top 8, and then...
Got to make sure you're still in there. I think we got to bring it back, but with radical honesty.
Right? Me?
Radical honesty for the top 8. Guess what? You pissed me off. I'm booting you.
Also, I feel like I'm just radically honest. He kept holding himself back the whole movie.
Yeah.
And just second-guessing all of his actions and all of his feelings and thoughts.
It was a great depiction of like that time when you're completely feeling like adrift and unmoored in life. There's AIM culture. What about AIM?
AIM.
We gotta
That's
bring
something I
back
miss. I do miss AIM.
I miss
Although,
AIM too.
You know what's wild is that now group chats are essentially AIM.
AIM.
Except they're like so frictionless and like easy to use that it kind of takes away some of the charm of it.
Yes, exactly. It was always a little awkward. What was your screen name on AIM, Justin?
Oh boy. Yeah, actually my first ever email address was associated with my AIM account or AIM account. And it was Who's the Man 1213 because my birthday is December 13th. But I had to remove the O from Who. So it's WHS the Man 1213. Now let me tell you, that email is still associated with many accounts.
I know.
And I have to tell many people on the phone as a grown adult over the age of 30.
I made this when I was 12.
That my email address is Who's the Man 1213 without the O.
Without the O. Very important distinction there.
So a lot of times what happens is I'm like saying it. I'm like, okay, here's the address. It's WHS the Man.
Oh, that's kind of mortifying.
I know, I have to do that so often.
I think we need to migrate some of those accounts.
Well, now we're slowly moving over to my adult accounts.
Yeah,
but,
that's a good thing, I think.
I agree.
Sarah, what was your screen name?
I don't remember. I had it for such a short time because I'm a young millennial. Yeah. I know what people are talking about when they talk about like the 90s and like the millennial like coming of age era, but a lot of the times I don't have the same lived in experience. So I didn't really experience that.
And that's tough.
Well, so the movie he has all those experiences in 2008, but I also think I was definitely a little bit of an odd person out where I didn't partake.
But you were also a little bit young at that time.
I was very shy. Brain-wise, I was, I think, a little bit late to develop in a lot of ways. I just was, I was a little Peter Pan. I didn't want to, and my parents, generational guilt. My parents called me the baby all the time, and I definitely, that was a part of my identity.
So they enabled you to Peter Pan as much as you wanted?
Fully. So I did go on, I think I went on, what's that one where the Omegle? Not Omegle.
Oh, yeah.
Omegle?
Oh, no. What happened?
I saw some balls. I saw some dick.
Yeah. I saw some balls.
That was with my cousin Alyssa.
Well, that tracks.
She was visiting, and she was doing, all the things, but I was not.
Let's get back to Dee Dee. Jeff, do you have anything else that you haven't already discussed?
I would just like to say that I think that one of the great things about this movie, aside from the painstaking reconstruction of what it was like in that era, I would like to say that they dealt with issues of latent racism in white suburban America.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
They dealt with issues of multi-generational households, which I think is something a lot of people today can also relate to. It's more common now than ever in America. And I think it just was a great depiction of a family of a real family that has real issues.
Yeah.
And it's very relatable because I think oftentimes we just get a really sanitized version of that.
Oh, yeah.
And coming of age stories. And
sugar-coated. Perfect.
Yeah, and I think that this was a very realistic depiction. So that's part of why it really stood out to me. It was great. I was transported, and I really thought about the movie quite a bit after I watched it.
I agree with you.
So please go ahead and stream Dee Dee on
Everyone
Peacock.
Watch.
And it has a 96% rating on the tomato meter. That's so pretty damn good.
It's so good. You know what was also so good about that? The sibling relationship.
Oh, the sibling relationship in it is great.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't, no spoilers.
Okay,
no spoilers.
Yeah, you're good. I'm sorry.
The sibling relationship is quite special and I think
amazing.
very, very realistic. In kind of an unsettling and gross way sometimes.
Fun fact, the reason why this happened is because Sarah famously spoils everything in our group, in our friend group. Raise your hand if you've been personally spoiled by Sarah Pruitt.
I have been personally victimized by this woman.
Both of us raise our hands, listeners.
High in the air.
I'm sorry, it's not my fault.
So editor Justin's got to have his foot right on the brakes just in case.
100%, You sure do. Well, Justin, I would now love to hear what your favorite film of 2024 was.
Give it to the people.
On this beautiful Christmas day.
Ooh.
And I would love to talk about it. So my film is called I Saw the TV Glow. Longtime listeners will know that I talked about this film as a What's Good a few weeks ago.
Ew.
It's directed by Jane Schoenbrunn, and it stars Justice Smith, who was in Detective Pikachu and in that recent Dungeons & Dragons movie as a character named Owen.
We don't need to talk about Dungeons & Dragons.
Bridget Lundy Payne, who is an atypical, as Maddie Wilson. So I'll be quick because I already talked about this once on the pod, but the premise of this movie is that Owen and Maddie become friends when they are young kids in high school, like freshmen or first years, as we're not calling them. And
too much woke.
They bond in kind of like the late 90s period over a television show called The Pink Opaque, which is like heavily based on shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Twin Peaks. They bond over the show.
Twin Peaks.
And Bridget's character, Maddie, decides to run away from home. And Owen initially agrees to leave with her, but then at the last second backs out.
As men so often do.
This results in Owen feeling some level of guilt because Maddie never returns. And he is like, what happened to her? Maddie kind of mysteriously returns much later in Owen's life and says, I need to tell you something. The Pink Opaque is real. And I want you to come back with me. So that's kind of like the premise and the hook.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if I was like, Justin, run away with me? And then you were like, yeah, that sounds good. And then you're like, actually, I don't feel like doing that, but good luck. I left. And then I came back and said, hey, Justin, remember our favorite podcast? I was just there for 10 years, and I gotta tell you something. It was a real place. Come back with me.
Well,
okay. You think that was fucking insane?
But also, is this like supposed to be realistic or psychological?
Right. This is so I understand where you're coming from. Obviously, that's a bit of a conundrum, right? And I think that's the core conflict that Jane Schoenbrunn is trying to get at with this film. How hard it is to kind of destroy your status quo to try to reach for something that is better, right? In my life, where I live like a pretty happy, fulfilled life, I would be like...
You would not, though.
Hell no, brother.
No, I'm good.
But in Owen's case, he, since Maddie left, has been living a pretty rough life. And a life where he doesn't feel fulfilled. And in fact, he almost feels, and Jane Schoenbrunn does a great job of portraying this through their direction, like maybe some kind of dissociation from the world that he is living in. Like something is wrong with the world. And things that he remembers from the Pink Opaque feels more true to himself and right. So, but he's too scared. He's kind of cowardly and doesn't want to, even the little tiny amount of life that he does have, like he has this shitty job and he has this kind of abusive father that he lives with. He doesn't want to give that up. He's too scared.
He still doesn't want, even though when she comes back?
I'm not telling you exactly. I'm just saying the conflict that he's feeling. He feels the conflict between wanting to go and also being scared of losing the life that he does have.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil the ending.
That's very relatable for anybody, like having dreams for yourself and being worried about losing what you do have for maybe the dream not working out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a great film. Aesthetically, Jane pulls from people like David Lynch with a lot of surreal imagery. They managed to kind of like pick the aesthetics from the different eras that they're imitating, right? So like they very effectively pull from like coming of age films from like the late 90s. They also pull from like that kind of like cheap TV aesthetic in The Pink Opaque.
WB.
And then
the WB.
The WB, right.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they also pull, from these like deeply horrifying David Lynch type existential psychological horror places.
Red Room.
This movie is one of the most like existentially horrifying movies that I've seen in recent memory because it puts across this like thought. It kind of seeds this thought in your mind that like, what if the reality and society that I'm living in now is all just like a bunch of actors playing a role for me to just like be depressed.
Almost like Truman Show-ish.
A little bit. It's kind of like but like
negative.
Way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this when I talked about it in my What's Good segment, but it's also heavily tied with the trans experience. So I don't want to spoil how that is or why that is, but I think that feeling of the external reality that you're living in and the way that people are treating you and the way that you are presenting yourself being so different from what you know to be true. Like that is the existential horror that Jane is really trying to get across with this film. It was like one of those just like clicking moments in my brain where I was like, holy shit. Like I feel like I never connected that emotion and that feling with the trans experience.
Wow, sounds like Jinx. You didn't listen to trans people when they spoke, Justin.
Well, Jeff, I'm not going to pretend like I've been consuming a lot of trans media, but Jane
also
Schoenbrunn,
famously, it's hard to not connect with people, but understand what people are going through without actually going through it yourself.
Well, I think that's one of the core tenets of like why art is valuable in a society, right? Like Jane Schoenbrunn is trans, and like they do a great job of portraying that emotion to an audience, both trans, like it's a very trans film, and also for cis people. So I think that
I love that.
Valuable viewing for everybody. It's called I Saw the TV Glow, and it is streaming on Max.
Get the sled, Max.
Also criminally under awarded in
what is
the awards so far this year.
Oh.
I Saw the TV Glow. No nominations in the Golden Globes.
Damn. That's
terrible.
Tough. And Emma Stone.
Emma Stone is the producer of this movie.
Emma Stone.
That's right. She's a producer of this movie.
I love her. She's great.
Those are our favorite films of 2024.
These are a few of our favorite films.
Things. Oh.
Now we're going to do a rapid fire round. In the same order. We're going to do Sarah, then Geoff, then me, of our runner-up. So, like, name of the film, 1 sentence, 2 sentence description. Sarah, go.
Second favorite film, because I foresee myself watching it again and again and again over the years. And it's called Wild Robot. It's on Hulu right now, for free.
Just wanted to chime in here and say that I wasn't able to find The Wild Robot on Hulu, but I was able to find it on Prime Video. So the link in the show notes will be to Amazon Prime.
And it's about a robot, obviously, called a Razum unit that crash lands on a island full of wild animals. And she learns how to speak with them by just observing. She goes into like this observation mode and then has a sequence of unfortunate events and ends up no, okay, that's not a spoiler, but
it sounds like a spoiler.
No! She ends up raising a baby goose because it imprints on her as soon as it hatches, and she becomes its mother, but she doesn't really understand what that means. So it's her growing and what it is to be a mother. You're kind of just swimming your way through it a lot of the time. It's her figuring that out and doing her best with this baby goose and also learning how to live in the community full of wild animals and the hardships that happen. And it's really cute and heartwarming, and I recommend it. And it's very funny.
That sounds super cute.
It is.
All right, Geoff.
I love it. Well, I think my runner-up film for the year has got to be Challengers. Now, come on now. We had Miss Tashi. We had Art. We had Patrick.
Tashi was so good.
We had excellent visuals. The cinematography in that movie, 10 out of 10.
The music was...
Oh, let's talk about the music. That score.
Hot Fire Flames.
That score. I think this was like the year of like rave music really coming back.
Oh.
Really coming back. We had Brat Summer.
I love that.
But before we had Brat Summer, we had Challenger Spring. Because that soundtrack was incredible, and I listened to it quite a bit. It was a wonderful second screen album, if you will. Excellent acting portrayals, interesting story, one that I've never really seen told before.
Yeah.
Interesting dynamics of being an other in an elite setting. I think it was great. That's probably one of my favorite movies of the year. I'd say it's my second favorite of the year. Justin, what about you?
Well, before I get into my runner-up, I want to second Challengers. I think that might have been actually my favorite movie of the year if it wasn't for the fact that we did a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
So, and we just reposted it in the feed. But
Sure did.
My runner-up for today's episode is a movie that I wish we have talked about more on the pod, which is Dune Part 2, the Denis Villeneuve film starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. This movie absolutely fucking rules. I've been watching the TV show Dune Prophecy, and it's only been reminding me how much better the movie is. Like, it's kind of hard to judge the TV show because the movie is just so good.
Yeah.
It does that sci-fi thing where it manages to get across the impression of a world without getting too bogged down in the details.
Yes.
Which I think is really impressive. Villeneuve is a master of visual storytelling, and also it is telling the story of a cautionary tale about a white savior, which I think is like very appropriate and timely today. So if you haven't somehow watched this movie, which was an absolute banger earlier this year, it's streaming on Max.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I recommend. I think it's a great one.
I spoil myself a lot because I want to know where romantic relationships end up because I just like them and I want everyone to be happy. But so I spoiled myself a little bit with Paul and what was her name?
I won't Chani. I won't spoil it for you, Sarah. But here's what I'll say. Well, you already spoiled yourself. But here's what I'll say.
I hate it.
the ending of Dune Part 2 is very different from the way that Chani's character ends in the books. So
No, she
We're cutting this whole section.
Sarah, what I meant was...
We're cutting the whole section, and I did not know that, Sarah. What the fuck?
The ending of Dune Part 2 is different than the ending of Dune, the book. By which I mean that
It's not done yet.
The fate of Chani... No, the book is done. Dune Part 2 ends where the book ends.
Really?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh!
That's how it ends. Sarah, there's Dune Messiah, which is book 2, which is not Dune. And in Dune Messiah, something happens with Chani. And what I'm saying is that Chani makes a different choice at the end of Dune Part 2 that she makes at the end of Dune the book.
Okay.
So
I
the
didn't know
film
that.
character Chani, I would say,
will
is
be
very
different.
likely to have a different fate than
Ooh.
Chani the book character. So that's what I'll
I
say.
would love that. I would love that.
Because I think that the portrayal of Chani in the books is like very sexist.
All right, we're going to cut all of that.
Sorry, Geoff.
Yeah. Well, with that said, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our favorite television of the year. Woo!
And we're back. And we're here to talk about our favorite television shows of 2024 now.
These are a few of our favorite TV
Shows. So, Sarah, why don't you kick us off again? What was your favorite TV show of 2024?
Okay. My favorite TV show was absolutely, without a doubt, Fallout. It was so good. It filled all of my yearning for sci-fi, for adventure, for fun.
That's on Amazon, right? On
Amazon Prime.
And it's
Mhm.
based off a video game.
That's correct.
Oh, it's the era of the video game IP.
We talked about this, yeah.
I'm remembering. Remember, Jeffrey, remember.
I also did watch the movie you talked about, Borderlands, last week, or the previous episode. I watched it on a plane. I enjoyed it because famously I'm not a critic. What?
8% on Rotten Tomatoes. 8.
Wait,
Single
was
digit.
is that the final? The final
Yes.
say?
Yes.
08%.
For the record, it is now at 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought it was fun.
You enjoy... Okay.
You thought
Anyways,
it was good?
let's hear her opinion about her favorite show of 2024.
I'd like to hear about this then.
Fallout. Okay, so I think, Justin, can you look up the stats real quick on Rotten Tomato for what Fallout has?
Oh, it's very good. It's probably like 80s.
Unlike Borderland, I don't have skin in the game. I'm not a video game player, so I am not a good critic for these things. But Fallout, one of my favorite shows this year, and it makes me, going back and like looking at this show, made me want to just rewatch it.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So
Oh, wow,
fucking
that's
good.
really high.
Yeah.
Sarah, you have taste.
Oh, thank you so much. Actually, I don't, because I just like everything, and some things I like are bound to be good.
Okay, but what did you like about Fallout?
So, well, I'm going to talk about it a little bit first, not what I liked about it.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you. It's a future post-apocalyptic drama. And basically, it's a kind of like a different future. So it's a future based on, it takes place after the imagined nuclear war of 2077 between the US and China. So that makes the world go to shit.
I'm already not watching.
No, it's so good.
Jeff famously has a huge phobia about nuclear war. So it's like it's a Jeff specific thing.
See, I love it because it's so real.
Jeff is like, are you kidding me? I hate it because it's so real. Jeff actually just died.
So there's three main kind of areas that the show focuses on, and it's Vault people, which are people that escaped into nuclear vaults, protecting them, and they were kind of living sequestered from the rest of the world. And there's people that basically were stuck on land up top, so they're all like a little bit fucked up and impacted by
radiation.
They have radiation poisoning? Yeah.
Yeah. One of the main characters is a ghoul, which is someone so messed up by radioactivity that they basically turn into a zombie and they can't die. So He is from when the impact actually happened, which is like 200 years in the past of when we are seeing the show. And they have to take special chemicals to keep them from absolutely losing their mind and becoming actual zombies. And then there's a third kind of group of people called the Knights, the Brotherhood of Steel. One of the Brotherhoods of Steel and one of the Vault people and one of the ghouls kind of go on this journey together. Like, things happen where they end up going on this journey together and kind of unravel the sequence of events that happened. And it's really fucking good. And apparently at the end of the season, you see a layout of a place that's really, really famous in the video games called that was really exciting for people that played the video games. I didn't know that, but that's what's coming in season 2, and I highly recommend it. And it's very good.
Yeah, I've played a lot of Fallout games. I have played Fallout 3, 4. I played a little bit of New Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was excited to hear that they captured like some of the humor of the Fallout games. I think that was I watched the first episode of this.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't watch the rest of it after you watched the first episode?
Well, this is a classic example of started watching the show with Brandy as like we're gonna watch the show together type vibe.
Oh no.
And then Brandy was like, it was fine. I'm gonna rewatch Buffy.
Oh my god! I was sucked in. I think I watched it all in one weekend.
I really like the first episode. I want to watch the whole thing. I've been really bad about watching TV this year, but
please make it your number one goal to watch Fallout.
Okay.
I will rewatch it with you guys if you want to have like a Fallout night.
So let me ask you a question that I find fascinating. So the Brotherhood of Steel in the games, like the people in the power armor are like always the guys that are like on the cover of the games. It's on the cover of the TV show, right? Like these are like the hero that you like eventually when you get powerful enough, you can wear the power armor in the games.
Yeah.
But the secret is that they're also kind of idiots and like they're like a fascist group. So like what did you think about the portrayal of the Brotherhood of Steel in the show?
That was great. It was exactly what you're saying. Because you started off and I was like, oh, did they go in like a different direction in the show? And then you kept going and I was like, oh no, it's the same direction. No, they're all idiots. It's kind of an alt-right, white, like not white, but manly, like, we deserve to rule and we save people, but they're also kind of like a lot of the people that are in the armors are like kind of not great people, and they're actually rude to their squires that work under them. And one of the squires, Maximus, is the main character from that group, and he actually gets into an altercation, or his knight does, with like a radioactive bear. And because he was so rude to Maximus, he just Maximus and then so it's the same thing that you're in the games.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that they captured that.
They did. They fully did. Because it's his journey throughout the TV show is going from thinking that they're like an upstanding, this is the epitome, like I want to be a man in the suit. That's my end all be all. I really believe in our cause. And then throughout the show, he kind of realizes that, am I the bad guy?
Is this fucking play about us?
So eventually he meets up with Ella Purnell, who plays Lucy, which is the main character that is from the Vault, one of the Vaults, and she comes out into the big world. And he ends up like letting her kind of...
Remember, we're trying to say minimum on spoilers here if you can.
Yeah, true. So anyway, that's his journey. I hope he progresses in his journey and doesn't get caught up in the power, but we'll see.
I have one other comment about the show, which is that the talent involved is crazy. You already mentioned Ella Purnell, who is all like so huge in Yellow Jackets, and she's also in Arcane, a very critically acclaimed TV show.
Mm-hmm. And she's dating Zac Efron.
Oh, I did not know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Allegedly, Zac Efron's a yachter.
What's that mean?
Like a high-end sex worker.
What?
Allegedly. All alleged. There's a lot of blind items about it, though.
Interesting.
And some interesting photos of him and Gerard Butler on a yacht this summer.
Gerard Butler?
Very interesting.
Sarah's like, I would pay to see that porno.
I don't like Gerard Butler. I was just
really? I thought you liked Gerard Butler.
No, I was just saying that Geoff was wrong in that episode. I was like, that was Gerard Butler, bitch. And one is Russell Crowe, one is Gerard Butler.
I surely did.
He confused Mel Gibson, Russell Crowe, and Gerard Butler.
All white men look the same.
They're in the same genre of white guy.
All white
I will say they're in the same genre of white guy. But also, on top of that, the creative team behind this is a lot of the same creative team that made Westworld. So, like, Jonah Nolan is the showrunner, and Lisa Joy, I believe, is the other co-showrunner.
Hey y'all, Editor Justin here. Just wanted to correct something that I just said in the past, which is that Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy are not actually the showrunners of Fallout, although they are executive producers. The showrunners are Graham Wagner and Geneva Robertson Dorrit. All right, let's get back to the pod.
I appreciate the tone of Fallout way more than Westworld, because Fallout's just got way more comedy wrapped into it, storyline, and it's easier to swallow.
But he's got the chops. Like, Jonah and Lisa, they both have the chops, I think, as showrunners. Like, they proved themselves with Westworld, even though that show ended poorly, to say the least.
There's a lot of people that were involved in the video games that were also involved with making the show, too.
Oh, I like that. They have continuity.
Yeah.
It's in the continuity of the games, apparently. Although there is some, Reddit discussion about how there's, minute differences between the continuity. But, you're always going to have that
there's got to be.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of the games, they focus more on what's going on in the vaults, which is a whole other part. It's kind of a subplot happening during the show, is Lucy's brother is still in the vault, and it will go back to him. Because there's a reason why she left. So it doesn't just, that happens and then she leaves. It also stays with what's happening in the vault and him working and researching and kind of investigating that, too. So that's nice. It's so good. Oh, watch it. Just watch it.
Yeah, and I think Jonah Nolan's a big fan of the games, too. Remember when we talked about Borderlands and I was like, what people have to do is make sure that the people who are there, they are entrusting with these properties, have knowledge of them and care about them. And I think that's part of the reason why Fallout is really good.
It sure is. I would agree.
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention that Lucy's younger brother is actually, I forgot his actual name, but we all know him as Rico from Hannah Montana. It's Rico! It's so weird seeing him as an adult because he looks like a 5-year-old.
I was too old for Hannah Montana.
Same. What do you mean, Geoff?
I mean, I was too emotionally advanced to watch Hannah Montana.
Geoff was very precocious as a child. He was watching The Sopranos at that age.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, but I wasn't obsessed with it. But then there were people that were even younger than me that were obsessed with it. And that was their identity. So I was very much in the middle. So I'm in the know on the culture, but I'm not crazy. But my cousin Alyssa was. Geoff, don't make a face.
I was looking at Justin because it looked like he was about to talk. You know what? I don't like your attitude on my podcast, lady. You better check it before you wreck it. How about that?
I'm going to go ahead and
try to talking to me like this on Christmas Day.
I'm going to try to de-escalate here and
put the Christ back in Christmas.
Move the conversation to Geoff.
So don't forget the reason for the season. How about that?
That's fair. I appreciate you and all the work that you do, and I really, really enjoy your podcast. I love it.
Anyways,
it's my favorite podcast.
Okay, fine. You made up for it. All right.
So, Geoff, what's your favorite TV show?
Yes.
Of 2024.
Of 2024 is an important
caveat.
Sorry. Hold on. I forgot.
It's right there on the screen.
I got lost. Okay. Justin just enlarged the font on my notes like I'm an 80-year-old person. Where is it? How do I get it off the screen and in my hand?
My favorite thing is looking over at my aunt when she's using her phone and seeing her font in 60-plus font size.
May it happen to us all. Maybe we'll live long enough.
No, hopefully the optometrist will be you can just get new eyeballs at that point. Super quick, one day surgery.
Do you know what? I didn't know that a lot of people go to the optometrist every year.
I didn't know that either.
I have to.
A lot of people don't. We're all glasses wearers.
I'm not.
I thought you had glasses.
No, I have never had issues with my eyesight. So I've never gone. And I met an optometrist while I was at the beach one time, and she was like, they catch a lot of unrelated diseases and issues by going to the optometrist that have nothing to do with your eyesight.
Yeah,
so you should go.
Your eyes are an early indicator of a lot of things.
Detached retinas, glaucoma, all that stuff they check. And it's covered by insurance. So highly recommend my What's Good for this week, optometrist.
I know, I've been meaning to go, but it's just, my life's been a fever dream the last couple of years, I swear to God.
With that said, my favorite television show of this year is a show on HBO and I will be still calling it HBO. I said I was going to go back to Max, but I'm not doing it anymore.
No,
we got to bring
HBO.
back Prestige. Is a show called Somebody Somewhere, starring Bridget Everett, who is an amazing and talented comedian, singer, podcaster. She does a lot of things, wears many hats, great entertainer. This is a show about a woman. Bridget Everett plays a middle-aged woman named Samantha, and Sam's sister dies and leaves her house. Sam doesn't have like a real career to speak of. She really has nothing to show for all of her working years as an adult. And she doesn't have a relationship, a partner, or anything like that. And it's kind of just been floating around aimlessly for a long time. But she's a very talented singer and never felt like she was good enough to pursue singing, which is her one passion in life. So because of that, she just feels unfulfilled. And she moves into her sister's house in the middle of nowhere in Kansas and decides to try to start a new life. So over 3 seasons of the show, it's a short run. The series finale was just a few weeks ago. But over the 3 seasons of the show, we watched Sam start to find passion in her life and she kind of colors in her world. And she develops relationships with old friends. She makes new friends in the community she grew up in. She has a complicated relationship with her still living sister and her parents, which they explore in the show. And she has a very complicated relationship with educators who were not maybe super supportive of her ambitions while she was growing up. And so because it's such a small town, all these people from her past come into play in the modern day.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Was this based on her actual life?
I think that it is in some ways inspired by her life.
Because I looked her up because I had no idea who she was, and she was born in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yes.
Which I just went to for a wedding.
You did?
Wow.
I sure did.
That's a coincidence.
Yes, it's a very small town. The show is shot really beautifully. It's a lot of big sky, as you can imagine, being out in the very flat Midwest. So the cinematography is great, and the music is very understated and simple, which kind of, I think, like highlights the feeling of being out in the middle of nowhere that you get from the depiction of the show visually. That's really all I had to say about the show. I think it was really great. The cast is wonderful. I can't think of all their names right now. I suppose I could look it up very quickly and we can just edit this in. Okay, there are some really great comedians who are in this show. Bridget Everett, of course, who's a wonderful entertainer. If you ever get the chance to see her live, you should. I saw her once at Joe's Pub years ago, and she was great. She did a great song about shaking your titties and experiencing titties of all different shapes and sizes and how wonderful they are. It was very funny. Another excellent actor who is like her co-star, plays her best friend in the show, is Geoff Hiller. Her sister's played by Mary Catherine Garrison, who has lately been really blowing up and been in all sorts of different movies and TV. Murray Hill, Tim Bagley. There's the cast is really great, and there is like a lot of local talent from that area that plays recurring small characters in the show, which is wonderful. It's just a very charming, feel-good show. One of the things that I love about this show is that they didn't keep it going for too long. I think in a show like this where it's very character-driven and not necessarily plot-driven, it's very easy to keep things going and going and going to the point of like you lose the ethos of the show. And they never once lost the plot. They kept it tight and they had a limited run, and I love that it just is like you get a picture, a snapshot of this person's life in a certain time, and that's the story. It's really good. I recommend everybody watch it. Stream it now on Max, but we all know it's really HBO.
Geoff, I have a question about this show.
Yes.
I don't know anything about it. I've seen like the picture of the TV show and that's it. So is this like, would you describe it as like cozy? Because the setup of like going back to your hometown after a family member has died and like making a life there feels very like a setup for like a cozy novel or something, you know? Or is it more like darker than that, you know?
It's definitely a comedy show. You know, it's a half-hour comedy series. It is not maybe cozy. I think that there is like an underlying like darkness that's just like the reality of like dealing with the wake of the death of someone very close to you, very special to you.
It feels like Bridesmaids a little bit in the main character.
Actually, Sarah, that's a really great comparison that I hadn't thought about before, but it does remind me of Bridesmaids, like Kristen Wiig's character Annie. There's definitely like a parallel there.
It has some weight to it. They make, even though Bridesmaids, we all think about it for the hysterical moments of the movie, but they also are able to make it heavy in those moments with her mother, living with her mother as a almost 40-year-old.
Yeah, I think that the show Somebody Somewhere does a great job of kind of balancing a very similar
Yeah.
That answers my question. Rope. Yeah, that's a really cool tone.
And visually, I'm such a sucker for period stuff. This is set contemporaneously, but they definitely had like excellent set designers on hand because they do a great job of like portraying like what you imagine a Midwestern home in the 80s looks like when she's like visiting with her parents. It's really great. And it's wonderful too to like see a depiction of people who live what a lot of us, especially those of us who live in the Northeast, might consider a pretty simple life. But it's done in a way where there's like great respect for it. And it's not done in like look at these small town simpletons. And it's like, there's some real value of living a simple life where you don't have like huge aspirations constantly guiding the way that you navigate the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I asked about the cozy question is because I think that sometimes you run the risk of going the opposite direction and like glorifying like how easy it is to live in a simple place and just have a farm or whatever. And like, there's a lot of books where it's like this fantasy, it's for basically like people who live in the cities and they have a fantasy of going and starting a farm or like starting a coffee
Hallmark
shop.
Movie.
Exactly, right. And I think that
every basic white bitch ever.
Right, like that's like a little bit problematic in and of itself. So knowing that it has some of the like darkness going on there at the same time, I think makes me more interested for sure.
Yeah, it really does like showcase like there are characters in the show who embrace and love the simple life and talk about how great it is. And there are characters who are like, I mean, good for you, but I want more. And so that's like a recurring theme in this show that I think is really interesting and kept me hooked into it. Because I think you're right. It really could have been glorifying, or it could have been like mean-spirited. And,
condescending.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we all should live the lives that we want to live. And if it's that life in the middle of the Midwestern U.S., fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's in a busy city, or if it's getting fillers in L.A., fucking do it.
True. Well, Justin, I would like to hear what your favorite television of the year is.
Hoo boy. Well, this one is a doozy because there's a lot to talk about with this show. It is the Emmy-winning Best Drama of the Year, Shogun.
Wait, did it win?
You love Shogun.
It won Best Drama at the Emmys, yeah.
Damn.
A little bit. I wouldn't say it was a full upset. I'll open my conversation here by saying that this was a weird year of television for me because I think a lot of like standby great shows that we had kind of been coming back to year after year either ended or they're like in a hiatus. Things like The White Lotus were on a hiatus this year. And, Succession ended. Yep. And it was a little bit of a gap where I didn't watch a lot because of that. I didn't have a lot keeping me, attracting me to new TV shows. And for that reason, I really only watched... There were only really 2 shows that I really liked this year that I watched. And Shogun filled the gap that I think House of the Dragon left. Because House of the Dragon was good. It was, fine. But I think it was a little bit flawed for reasons that we talked about on that episode. And Shogun really filled that niche for me in that it's a historical fiction show, but it feels a lot like a fantasy, an epic fantasy, by the way that it's portrayed. Okay. So a little bit of background on it. It's based on a 1975 novel of the same name by James Clavell. It's set in early 1600s Japan, which is a setting that I know has been treaded a lot in Western media, but I am not super familiar with. So for me, this was a big introduction to that setting. And I think the reason why I tended to avoid it was because of this Orientalism fear. It's hard for Western production companies and creators to portray that era in a way that's not just racist, right? The creative team behind Shogun involved a lot of Japanese people, involved a lot of Japanese actors. The show itself is majority Japanese language, which is wild that it won Best Drama, despite that fact.
Yeah.
Well, what's the Parasite one 2 years ago?
Well, that's Korean, first of all, and also
yeah, but it's
secondly,
it's in a foreign language,
and it's also not a TV show.
That's my point. But it's a movie.
You're right, but I'm just
it's relatable.
This was it's definitely a trend, right?
There's a through line.
I think it's a positive trend that we are now seeing a lot of non-English language media being awarded in American award shows, which I think is great. Yeah, Squid Game's another example.
Thank you.
Okay, so the premise here is that a British man named John Blackthorne, played by Cosmo Jarvis, essentially is trying to get to Japan. At this time in history, the only European nation that has made it to Japan is Portugal. Mm-hmm. And they've kind of established an outpost for the Catholic Church there. When Cosmo, his character John Blackthorne, is trying to make it across to Japan, basically it is like a complete clusterfuck. His entire crew nearly dies of scurvy. He washes up, and it's like him and like 4 other dudes who are all like heavily like covered in shit, like long scraggly beards, like lost half of their body weight. They like losing teeth. C. Yeah, they're losing teeth left and right.
They've got sores on them. The depiction of scurvy was historically accurate and disgusting.
Horrible. And they show up in Japan, where, of course, everybody is dressed deeply well. Everybody is super hygienic. Everybody's got their shit together, and they literally throw this British crew into like a pit, right?
Yeah. The Japanese are looking down on them like peasants.
Yeah.
They're hydrated, moisturized, staying in their lane.
They're looking great. 1600s. They were already on their shit. So
yeah.
Here's the thing. Blackthorne thinks he is going to be like the agent of change in Japan and really make a foothold in Japan for Britain, right? He thinks he's the one in control. He's like, I'm going to take down the Portuguese here.
Oh, I hate it. This is like Pocahontas, but make it Asian.
I mean, kind of, but immediately in the very first episode, it becomes clear that in some ways, Blackthorne is competent in a lot of ways, but in some ways he's kind of a fool. And he's especially a fool when he's just been put into a culture that he doesn't understand. Mm-hmm. So quickly what happens is he encounters a very powerful lord called Lord Toranaga, who's portrayed by Hiroyuki Sanada, who you may remember from season 2 of Westworld. Mm-hmm. Incredible, like, storied Japanese actor who's been in Hollywood for like decades now.
Was he in Lost?
I don't think so, but he might have been.
As it turns out, Hiroyuki Sanada actually was in Lost. He played Dogen, who is a leader of the others in the final season of Lost, so call that a point for Sarah. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention that he starred across from Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai, which was, like, I think a pretty major factor in the rise of the popularity of Japanese culture in the US during that era. All right, let's get back to the pod.
He was in the episode of Westworld where it was like a samurai world.
Yes.
Yeah. So what quickly becomes clear is that Blackthorne is really a pawn of Toranaga in this massive political game that he has against a rival lord who is currently in control of Japan. And then rounding out the cast, the main cast at least, is Anna Sawai, who plays Mariko. She is low-key the highlight of this show.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure what her role was at the beginning of the show. I was like, is she just going to be a romantic interest for Blackthorne? I won't spoil anything, but she is like the soul of the show. Like, you've got Lord Toranaga, who is kind of this like scheming mastermind.
Oh.
You've got Blackthorne, who's kind of this like hot-headed Western dude who like has no idea what he's doing, and is a lot of times is used for comedic effect because he's just doing stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
But then you have Mariko, who is a character whose family has kind of been ostracized in Japanese society. And the way that she deals with that and tries to reclaim her own agency, not because just of her family's ostracization, but also just because of her status as a woman, because misogyny is not a phenomenon that's unique to the West.
Yeah.
Why I like the show. First of all, the presentation is like incredible. On a budget that's less than Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, they managed to make everything look like super period accurate, super detail oriented. They do this style of bokeh, like out of focusness, where it's like a circular bokeh in the background, which is really distinctive and like not like anything I've ever watched. It feels very like art house cinema and not like TV, you know? It looks gorgeous. So aesthetically, it's incredible. I remember being blown away in the first episode by the way that they portrayed like the Japanese warriors' armor when they stormed the British ship. It's like really incredible. So that's just like one thing that drew me to the show.
Watch it because it's pretty.
It's extremely pretty.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it has a lot to say about like the ways that we are so like Eurocentric in our worldview. Ironically, Blackthorne, when he shows up in Japan, everybody calls him a barbarian.
Yeah.
And they keep calling him a barbarian. And of course, all the British people are calling the Japanese barbarians when they show up. And it's really interesting to see like how many things that we now consider in our society to be like civilized actually originated from Japanese culture. Like, I remember one specific thing was that once Blackthorn comes out of prison and he's like staying in a real Japanese home, Mariko asks him like, hey, do you want to like take a bath because you smell like shit? And he was like, I don't know, I took a bath like 3 days ago. I don't think I need to take one again.
That was wild.
And then she was like, she looked at him like he was insane, like she was living in 2024, right?
Right.
And she was like, you sure about that?
Yeah.
And then Blackthorn's like, I mean, I guess. And then she goes away and he like writes in his diary like, what, did she want me to get dysentery? And it's because like they hadn't discovered that like if you keep water up above a certain level, it kills all the bacteria in it. And if they bathe too much, they would get dysentery.
Yeah.
So like it's all these things that we consider to be like civilized and hygienic that, you know, it just goes to show that like civilization is subjective, you know?
It surely is.
What about taking your shoes off in the house?
So that's another example.
Oh, that should be my what's good for all time. Taking your goddamn shoes off in my house.
Getting back to what's more specifically I really enjoy about it. What I didn't expect was that there are such thematic depths. So something that comes up a lot is the way that Blackthorn is obsessed with like agency and freedom. And he sees Japanese society as being like super oppressed and locked down by these like restrictions that they place on their actions and what they're allowed to say and what they're not allowed to say. But all of the Japanese characters are constantly pushing back about how they can exert power using those societal structures.
Say more about that.
Let me give you an example. So one thing that Blackthorn does is he gets a pheasant as a gift from Lord Toranaga, who's like his lord.
That's fancy.
Very fancy. And he's like, I am going to hang it out here outside of my shack, and I'm going to let it dry out. And all the Japanese people are like, I think that's a bad idea. It's going to rot. And again, germ theory didn't exist in the West at this point. So they were like, it's going to smell really bad. And he was like, well, yeah, it'll smell, but like, I'm just going to leave it there. So nobody touch it or I'll kill you. Like kind of flippantly, right? You know, many days pass, it starts to rot. And like all the members of his household who are like his servants, they're debating like this balance between, do I try to protect like the health and safety of this household by removing the pheasant, or because now in this society words mean what they mean, am I going to take it down and literally be killed?
Yeah.
And eventually a servant takes it down.
Oh no.
And it's like a form of sacrifice, right? Like knowing and being aware of these customs means that it actually gives your life meaning, right? Blackthorn thinks that freedom and agency gives your life meaning, but actually sometimes these customs give your life additional meaning that maybe you wouldn't have if you're just like acting like a lizard, like going back and forth doing whatever you want to do, quote unquote freedom in the Western sense, right?
Yeah.
And when Blackthorn returns to his home and he's like, oh, where's this guy? Like, I thought that he was going to help me out with this other thing. And they're like, oh, he's dead. And then he gets really mad. And they're like, why did you get mad? You told us that we would die. So it's like it's teaching him like...
Wait, I'm confused. I thought Blackthorn was saying, if you take this down, I will kill you.
No, I forget the exact words that he used, but he was like, anybody who takes this down will be punished, basically. And he used like, you'll be executed or something
by
like
like
that.
his like household.
There's like
or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
What happened was he like went out and was beheaded. Like it's a community of people, right?
Right.
The executioner is not in his household, but it's a part of the same community.
And they thought that his word was law, so when he took it,
he's their lord.
Took it down.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So Blackthorn learns the lesson of like, wait, my words actually mean something here, and how powerful that is. Like the fact that like in a society where customs matter, like meaning is easier to come across, right? So like but it's a hard lesson for him because he's like, this is insanity. This is like insane, and everybody else in the community is like, yeah, but you said that.
But you said it.
So it's kind of like, bitch, maybe watch what you say. Like, be intentional about your words. Like, that's just one example. But, like, many characters, Toranaga, Mariko, both use their positions in society and the customs that surround those positions to, like, exert power in ways that are advantageous for them. And Blackthorn, by comparison, just is like a bull in a china shop. So that kind of dovetails with the theme of translation, right? So obviously Blackthorn can't speak Japanese when he first shows up, although he slowly learns throughout the course of the series. And the translation between not just language, but customs between Britain and Japan is also, I think, a very heavy theme, in that we're all kind of translating from person to person. Like we're all using an imperfect form of communication to communicate with each other.
We all have our own idiolect.
Right. I mean, I'm speaking into a microphone using like a language that we all understand, but like you can't understand the thoughts, like the abstract thoughts that I'm thinking in my mind, right?
Okay.
And this is something that's made material in a concept called the Eightfold Fence that's brought up in the show.
The Eightfold Fence?
Right. It's this story about this guy who has like 8 fences in between himself and the outside world, and how nobody from the outside can really tell what the inner person is like because of all of these different levels of artifice that separate him from the outside world. There's an episode called The Eightfold Fence, and it's a recurring theme that keeps coming back.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's about how that's actually like advantageous for him. Like Lord Toranaga is somebody who keeps his personal desires secret from everybody else because that makes it so that it's easier for him to manipulate others and makes it harder for other people to predict what he wants to do.
Keep him guessing.
And of course, guess what Blackthorn thinks about that.
Oh, I'm sure he thinks it's bullshit.
He's like, I just want to be bros with Lord Toranaga, dude. Like, come on, can't we just like hang out, drink some sake or something? But no, turns out that's not really smart in the world of 1600s Japan. It's an excellent show, deserves the Emmy win. It's like a smarter Game of Thrones in a lot of ways. Like it doesn't have as many like big blowout battles, but it has a lot of politicking and it has a lot more interesting like societal themes, I think.
Okay.
I gotta give it another shot. I got into like 3 episodes in or 4 episodes in, and I got like kind of bored because I think I was watching it all in a row.
I didn't watch it at all.
You know,
there's a bit of a lull, I think, around episode 3,
yeah.
And then once you get past that and you start to kind of like, I remember thinking like, what is Mariko doing? Like, what is her character about? Because of that Eightfold Fence, right? I think all these characters like are very slowly revealing themselves to you through the course of the TV show.
Shrek.
It's just like Shrek.
Shrek the onions.
Yeah.
The onions and Shrek.
Yeah, everybody's an onion in this show. It's just like Shrek.
Actually, there's a movie that I started watching and I didn't finish, but I think it kind of is similar to this aspect of a foreigner or a foreign Western man in a completely new world, but it's in New Zealand. It's called The Convert. It came out this year because it was. I haven't watched it fully, but I started it. And so he's actually like a priest that went to convert people to their religion. But I actually think what ends up happening, he gets caught in between 2 Maori tribes fighting. And I think he actually ends up getting converted to the Maori people instead in the Maori religion or culture.
That's something that I'll also say really quickly. Last thing about Shogun is that I think it's easy to fall into the trap of like, again, similar to what we were talking about with Geoff's show. It's easy to glorify Japanese culture and be like, oh yeah, all of us white people should just like convert totally to Japanese. Like they put that culture on a pedestal. But there's a lot of characters also that show like the dangers of Japanese nationalism and like misogyny that also occurred during that time in Japan. So it's absolutely not just like a pro-Japanese propaganda piece. Like there's a lot of nuance going on there as well. So
Justin, are you saying that misogyny is over now?
I'm definitely not. Definitely not.
That's what I heard. Point for me.
Shogun, you can watch it on Hulu from FX.
Hulu. They're very kind to me with Hulu.
So, those are our favorite shows. Rapid fire round, runners up. Same order. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first, Sarah.
Shrinking, bitch.
Yeah.
Shrinking is so good. I could not wait until I could watch the next episode of this. I stayed up too late watching episodes of this. Who's in it with Jason Segel?
Jason Segel, Harrison Ford.
Oh, Harrison Ford is Paul.
Jessica Williams.
Oh. So this is actually the second season came out this year. The first season was last year, probably 2023. But it's just about a healing family, a healing community of people that knew the same woman that died tragically in a drunk driving accident. And it's about the human existence and everyone's struggle to deal with it in their own capacity and how it's so different for everybody. You can relate to every single character in some aspect of their process throughout the entire show. Even some of the characters that you think are kind of not untouched by the tragedy, but like dealing with it really well. There is some type of development in their character that you go through with them. And it's just very touching and kind of leads you to introspect, to like look inside yourself too. And you grow along with it, and you kind of realize things about yourself that are similar to the characters being portrayed, which I don't know. They must have had so many psychologists on that show. I mean, like, okay, what's this type of person dealing with? How does this type of person deal with it?
That is a great show. I love Shrinking. That I think would probably be like in my top 5 shows of this year. I've been really enjoying the second season of it. It's very funny. The casting is great. And I think that the show is more broadly about absence than it is just about like grief and loss.
Absence?
Mm-hmm.
Of what? Of a person?
Like, there are a lot of characters who have like are feeling like unfulfilled for various different reasons that don't have anything to do with that character's death.
I see where I can see that.
That's why I like this show, because like there's been a lot of shows out there about like grief and loss, and
I just love that they incorporated the in this season. It was so good. Yeah.
There's a this season. Is this a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler.
we're not doing spoilers.
Well, you can cut it. Cut it. Okay, Geoff. I want to hear what you have to say, Geoff.
And I'm so thrilled to talk about one of my favorite shows of TV. One of the best shows on television this year, according to Vanity Fair and Variety, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's one of the best installments of any Housewives franchise that there has ever been. This season is going down as one of the greatest of all time. It's definitely in my top 3 seasons. And it might have bumped out season 9 of New York, which is excellent and one of my faves. But Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has it all. There are so many interesting, real true friendships on camera that are touched by things that happen both on and off the show. There is a very real and heartwarming story about dealing with substance abuse and suicidal ideation. Yeah, the drama this season is so good. It's funny as hell. They have such a great cast this season. It's one of the best shows on television. It's so entertaining. Every week I am thrilled to turn it on and see what the hell's going to happen next. So highly recommend you stream Real Housewives of Salt Lake City on Peacock.
Who was that character that was in the first season that left, was married to the guy that was married to her mother?
Mary Cosby is back.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
She's great. Her step-grandfather is now her husband. It's a long story, but it's great. It's great TV. This is one of the best. This cast is amazing. There's a person who's been on the show for a few seasons, and last year was her first full season as a housewife, and she's just killing it this year. She's like the star of the show. She's like a breakout star.
Ooh.
Angie Constantinasis.
Yeah, I didn't see her. I'm not up to that season yet, so I haven't met her yet.
Oh, you gotta watch. It's great.
Is Mary similarly fed up with every single other co-star of the show?
I don't want to say
as
too
she
much.
was?
This season is really, the dynamics and the winds have shifted this season. So old alliances now mean nothing, and old friendships may or may not be in existence anymore. Gotta watch. But anyways, well, that was my runner-up. So now we gotta get to Justin. Justin, tell us about your runner-up favorite television show of the year.
Yes, my runner-up is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the very unlikely remake of the, like, what was it, 2006 or something like that? Like, film starring Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Remember the leg?
Of course. Who can forget the leg with the dress?
Iconic.
But yeah, this is, against all odds, very funny. I would say pretty sexy, actually, and like very insightful about relationships. So the premise basically is that 2 spies get linked up with each other as like a cover as a couple to do like very mysterious and just like weird tasks that they don't really ever know what the actual goal is. But, you know, it stands in for kind of like your average corporate job where you never really know what's going on up top, right?
Hi.
So there's a lot of like allegory going on just about modern relationships and how difficult they can be to navigate. It's created by Francesca Sloan and Donald Glover. Obviously, I love pretty much anything that Donald Glover does in any medium. He is not missing here. It's very much in the bloodline of Atlanta, where it manages to both be like very dramatic about very serious things, but also very funny. I love a show that is about millennial relationships. Like, I feel like so many relationship focused things that I experienced growing up, I didn't really relate to, and I related a lot more to this show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It also stars Donald Glover and Maya Erskine as the two leads. They're both excellent. I now have a crush on Maya Erskine because of this show, unexpectedly.
You didn't have a crush on her before? Oh, I guess it's probably...
From her role as a child in Pen 15.
I was like, wait, no, that makes sense, because her in Pen 15 with the bowl cut was not cute.
Yeah. But I was like, damn, I didn't know she was also very attractive. I was like, damn. But yeah, the show is really great. It's fun, sexy, it's a great time, and it's also very funny. Ron Perlman has a really standout guest star in one episode that is excellent and super funny. Yeah,
that show was great. I don't think it got like the acclaim that is really due for that caliber of a program.
I think that it came out at the same time that a lot of other shows came out.
It flew under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it flew under the radar a little bit because it was definitely, I wanted to watch it, but I just ran out of time and I didn't have enough hours after my workday to watch it.
Well, Miss Girl, I highly suggest that you take a look, and I do believe it's streaming on Amazon Prime.
That's right, it's streaming on Amazon Prime.
I'm going to watch it.
Well, guys, love talking to you about your favorite TV. What do you say we take a quick break, and then we'll come back with some What's Good?
I say yes. And we're back.
Yes, we are, Geoff. And I thought you were going to say more. Okay, sorry.
I thought I was too, and I drew a blank.
Well, we've been going for a long time.
Had a brain fart.
We managed to package a lot of information into this episode.
So
Sarah,
much.
Thank you for sticking with us. It's been a pleasure, as always.
We're so glad to have you here, honey.
And speaking of Sarah.
Yes.
I want to ask you, because we've talked a lot about our favorite film and TV of this year. And one last small ask of you during this episode of Bants.
All right, get on with it.
What's good with you this week?
What is good with me is the TV show on Netflix called Arcane. It's also based on a video game. It's the era of video games.
Another video game that you haven't played.
I'm not a video game player, but the show is so good. I tried watching it when the first season came out. So the second season just aired in November. And the first season aired last year. I tried watching it. But the graphics for the animation is exactly like a side foray in a video game where you would enter a conversation with someone and it would take you on a full story. I just couldn't get into it. And then I gave it another shot because our friends Sam and Ken mentioned it on our group chat. And then I quickly stopped seeing that. And it was very, very good. And I really liked it. And I can't hear you guys.
We're not saying anything.
Oh, that's why I couldn't hear you guys.
We were just letting you talk.
Yeah. So what's the premise of the show?
Okay. So Piltover is a town very focused on innovation and bettering the community for the future. And then there's also a part of the town across the bridge that's kind of called the Undercity. And the gutter rats all live there. And it's definitely like a play on two levels of society and how they have a grudge against each other. It's like a class conflict between the upper society people of the top side of Piltover and then across the bridge, the lower society. It starts off with these two sisters, Violet and Powder's parents both being killed in a conflict on the bridge where there was a revolt of the Undercity. And then there is a time of peace because of that revolt that they agreed we need to stop having all this conflict and death and stuff. And their kind of uncle figure, Vander, raises them. And the show actually picks up about maybe like 5 years later when the older sister, Violet, is a teenager, 15 or 16, and the younger sister, Powder, is like 8 or 9. Then it's just turns into video game havoc of these kids going and stealing things from a house in Piltover, accidentally playing with this thing called a Hexgate gem, and it explodes a house in Piltover, and they're like, we're going to start the class wars again. What's going on? And I don't know how to explain fucking Arcane. It's so the story itself is so detailed and good. Just watch it.
Is it like deep in the lore of League of Legends, which is the
Yes.
video game that it's kind of based
Yes.
on? Okay.
Oh,
It fully is.
Okay.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
That was really hard for me.
I've heard really good things about this show. So I have trouble watching, like, this is a problem that is with me, but I have trouble watching animated shows. So this one's been on my list for a long time, but I haven't gotten to it. So
Get to it.
And I have no problem not watching animated shows, so I will probably not watch this one.
No, you have to. Please, everyone get to it. It's so...
Ah.
And
We'll see.
the soundtrack is so good.
I remember that a DJ that I used to like called Mako is like one of the music producers of this show. And I know that he makes good music, so I know that the soundtrack is good. I've heard lots of good things about that. So yeah, I'll give this one a shot. And actually, Ken bribed or kind of blackmailed me into watching this show because he said he would come to watch Nosferatu with us if I watched it. So
Well, you were already going to watch it, so joke's on him.
exactly. That was what I thought. Yeah.
Play Mama You're On Me right now.
In case you didn't catch that, Sarah just asked me to play the song My Meilleur Ennemi. Geoff can critique my French next episode, which is from season 2 of Arcane. It's by Stromae and Palm, and it's French for my best enemy. All right, here's the clip.
Mais ma meilleure ennemie, c'est toi. Fuis-moi.
All right. Thank you, Sarah, for that. What's good?
All right, so that's what my What's Good is for this week, and basically for the last 2 weeks, because I've been obsessed. Geoff, we've talked about a lot of stuff. I know you really like Real Housewives, and you're a big fan of the Simple Life reboot with the little Hilton girlies.
I sure am.
But is there anything else that's good for you this week?
Well, there sure is. Seeing as it's Christmas Day and all, I'm going to be watching one of my favorite Christmas films, which I will tell you about.
Don't you dare.
I'm certainly not going to steal my actual favorite Christmas film, which somebody else may or may not be mentioning later on the pod.
Close one.
But I do want to talk about what I would consider my second favorite Christmas film of all time, which is Home Alone, honey. I'm going to be watching that shit all day. I love that story. It's so silly. The plot is pretty thin. Okay? It's pretty thin. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a lot of ways you could have gotten an adult to go and check on Macaulay Culkin while you were stranded across the country or in Paris.
Honestly, accurate. Wait, I never thought about that.
But I gotta say, Catherine O'Hara, icon, legend, great legendary performance. John Candy, wonderful cameo in this film. Macaulay Culkin, what a charming and endearing and good comedic actor for a child.
What's going on with the Culkin family? They're wild.
There's something in the water. I don't know what it was. Mama's Milk had extra good in it. This movie has iconic performances. What an aspirational home. What an aspirational home in Chicago suburbs. Gorgeous. So funny. Great performances all around. I love that movie. It makes me laugh every damn time when he comes in the window and steps on the broken up ornaments. I laugh my ass off. So I'll be watching Home Alone because that's what's good this week.
Yeah.
And now, Justin, let's hear about your What's Good, which I also think is quite good.
Geoff, it is Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Happy Crimbo.
I have a recent tradition with Brandy, which is to watch the 1946 black and white film, It's a Wonderful Life,
Ew.
around Christmas.
Oh,
Hear me out. Okay?
Ew.
Let me finish.
Ew.
So, maybe like Sarah, my parents, I've talked about this on the pod, like they weren't really into like culture. I feel like anything that came out like before 2000, I like essentially am not familiar with, and I just assumed was like boring old people shit, you know? And old Christmas movies can be kind of boring and like cheesy and lame, you know?
Famously, I called my dad to pick me up in the middle of a white Christmas
Yeah.
at Jeff's old apartment. I said, oh no, I have to leave. My dad's here. I didn't ask him to come get me 20 minutes ago.
For example, right? So I assumed that about this film, It's a Wonderful Life, because this was always shown like on cable TV, like around Christmas time, and I'd probably caught like a couple of clips, and it's like old timey, you know, it's like Jimmy Stewart talking in his old timey like accent, you know,
Transatlantic.
yeah, and just like being old-timey charming. And I was like, okay, I don't need to see this. This movie is low-key so progressive for the time and even now. So, fun fact about this movie. After it came out in 1946, the FBI at the time, led by J. Edgar Hoover, thought that it was communist propaganda because it was so anti-bank and anti-elite. They said that it should be like flagged and potentially even censored because this was right before the Red Scare, right? That's how low-key socialist it is. And I think maybe if you haven't watched it in a while as an adult, that may be a surprise to you.
I've actually never watched it.
There you go, Sarah. You're just like me, like 3 years ago, before I had seen this movie and you assumed it was bad. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So Jimmy Stewart plays George Bailey, and his character, he's kind of like a star at the beginning. He's like the charming guy at the high school dance. He saves his brother from drowning at the very beginning of the film when he's a kid, you know? He's just an all-around good guy, and everybody loves him, everybody roots for him. But because he's such a good guy, and because he's like taking time out of his life and using his own money and time that could be spent being kind of like a cynical capitalist, he doesn't do all those things. Like he ends up kind of in a house that's not like a mansion. It's a fine house with his very beautiful wife and 2 kids, but he's constantly frustrated because Mr. Potter, who is a big-time banker, who is basically out there to exploit the town, is essentially like blackmailing him out of his business and making it so that he may go bankrupt. And essentially the moral conflict in this film is between Mr. Potter, who's like this capitalist who's willing to do basically anything within the law
to get ahead,
to make as much money as he possibly can. And then George Bailey, who's kind of like the underdog, who doesn't really need to make money, but he's trying to make people's lives better, right? That conflict is not really like new or interesting, but what is interesting is that George goes to like really dark places when he starts being pushed by Mr. Potter. So first he like goes back home and he's like yells at his children and at his wife in a way that's not portrayed as like, oh, well, it's reasonable. No, it's like he becomes the villain in that moment. Like he has this rage towards society because he's like, I have been doing all of these things to try to better society, and instead of being rewarded, I am just in this, shit situation, and I'm about to go bankrupt. Like I have no money to my name. Like my life is about to fall apart. And then he goes and considers suicide on a bridge. And then it becomes a Christmas Carol spinoff, and he's visited by an angel who brings him to an alternative universe where he didn't exist. And this universe is ruled by Mr. Potter. The town is now called Pottersville, I believe. It's a horrible town, basically. Long story short, there's a lot of hijinks where he's like, he goes to try to find his wife, and she's like, I don't know who this guy is. And he tries to go to his home, and it's like completely run down. But the purpose of this is to show that it actually does, like, it's really easy. And I think a lot of people relate to this, to let the rage consume you, because we do live in an unfair world. And, I think it is important to say that it is okay and normal to feel this rage.
Yeah.
But that you can't let it consume you. And
you don't see the good things that you've done and how you've impacted the other people in your life, random people that you'll never see again.
Right. It's not obvious in that moment how much you actually have helped. And this isn't really, the movie came out like almost 100 years ago, so I'll spoil it a little bit here. But what ends up saving him out of this situation with Mr. Potter is his community, all the people that he's helped, right? In a situation where all the capital is stacked up against him, it is his community that pulls together all their resources, and all of these people who he's helped over the years come and pitch in to help him out. So
I love that.
It's a beautiful movie. It's, again, way more like left-leaning than I thought it was going to be. And like,
absolutely.
I think Jimmy Stewart is like a lifetime Republican. Like, I don't understand how he this is like apparently one of his favorite movies that he's ever been in. I'm like, did you watch it?
I think that we don't have to get into all the politics of what the Republican Party used to be like.
So that's my What's Good. It's a Wonderful Life. You can stream it on Prime. It's included with Prime. And I think actually for a while the copyright lapsed, so it's possible that you can find it in other places too. So def watch it. It's a beautiful movie.
It's called It's a Wonderful Life?
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Okay.
By Frank Capra.
I swear it's actually like it's one of the best like movies over 50 years old that I've ever watched. Like it's one of my favorite movies ever.
Mm-hmm. It's excellent. It's one of my favorite. I always grew up watching it.
Well, I'll watch it. after I watched Jingle All the Way, featuring Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, God.
Now that is high art.
Yeah, one of the best ones I've ever
It's
seen.
too highbrow for y'all to understand.
I guess so. Well, with that.
With that, Sarah, it's been a pleasure to do this pod with you. Thank you so much for spending so many hours of your life with us, because this is our second round.
It's been a really fun time. I love the pod. I'm so excited to be part of it. And I just miss my friends in general. So it's been really nice to chit-chat with you guys and have a little giggle.
Well, we'll see you soon. I can't wait for you to come home.
Yes, bitch!
Bye!
Merry Christmas. This has been Bants with Geoff and Justin. Bants is created and produced by Geoff Taylor and Justin Benavidez. Graphic design by Geoff Taylor. Editing by Justin Benavidez. The theme music for Bants is the track Nebraska With You by Sam Day and is provided by No Copyright Sounds. Email us at bantspod@gmail.com with any questions, recommendations, or just to say hi. If you like the podcast, rate and review us on Apple or Spotify and tell your friends. Bye!
Bye! Merry Christmas.
Bye! Happy New Year, bitches! Okay, I don't have favorites. I really don't. I like a lot of movies for a lot of different reasons.
But you love this movie.
But I love this movie. And it really has been the only movie that I feel like, bitch, shut the fuck up. I love you.